Well, it's another time where that we have to get into the next lecture, which is called lecture 1 of electronics drawing. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome some physical students and also some our non-physical students. We call them online students or distance students into lecture 1 of electronics drawing. The module name is called electronics drawing, and we are in chapter 1. We have 7 chapters in this module that we have to cover. The first one is called the general introductions of electronics drawing. And we have covered lecture 0. This is lecture 1, reference books of electronics drawing. Actually, we are trying our level best to unlock the contents that our students have to cover, whether we'll be teaching them or whether they want to go far themselves. Because I want to tell you that there's no any teacher who can teach you everything. Let me repeat. In this world, there is no any teacher who can teach you everything. Some of the skills you have to learn from your teachers, and some of the skills you have to learn yourself. So the great learner and the great teacher is yourself. If it's the first time to meet me, my name is Olenjolai. I am a Tanzanian, and I'm very committed on teaching and training students, especially in electronics engineering and telecommunication engineering. And my programs is actual nationwide and even worldwide, but for this moment it's nationwide. I have some physical students almost from different regions of our beautiful country that's called Tanzania. And today I have some good news for you. And I want to tell you that I don't know everything about electronics drawing. I just know a small portion of it. But I have a responsibility to teach others about what I know. So I would like to ask you to pay attention and to concentrate on what that we are going to cover and ask you questions in case that there is one of them. So because I have some physical students, let us appreciate their presence and hear them when they are breathing and actual sounding as electronics and telecommunication engineer. But remember that this course is not only for ordinary diploma students in electronics and telecommunication engineering. This course may benefit ordinary diploma in electronics engineering, ordinary diploma in telecommunication engineering, ordinary diploma in communication system technology, we call them CST in short, ordinary diploma in electronics engineering, ordinary diploma in computer engineering, ordinary diploma in information technology, ordinary diploma in multimedia engineering, ordinary diploma in just we call it biomedical equipment engineering, ordinary diploma in renewable engineering. Simply we call them ordinary diploma in any field of electrical engineering. So whether you are students in those courses, then this is very interesting because you learn how to draw electronics diagrams, how to draw electronic circuits, how to draw electronic schematics, how to draw electronics layouts, how to think or how to present your idea in terms of drawing. So in case for those for you who are in this physical class, you may share these contents to your friends who are studying other courses. For instance, students who are pursuing NTA level 4 office year in CST, unfortunately they don't have this module, but they have to learn how to draw. because drawings is just, we call it, it's a very important gear on your learning about electronics and telecommunication engineering. But I said also it's not limited for ordinary diploma. This course can be taken from ordinary all-level students, especially those who are pursuing or they are studying in technical school, such as Ifunda Technical School, Mtwara Technical School. We have also Musoma Technical School, and some other technical schools that you know, because they have special subjects that are called electronics and communication. That's one of the fields that they have to take on. But it's not for only technical students, even for all-level students who have made a decision that I wanted to be electronics engineer, I want to be telecommunication engineer. Well, this is the good news that you have to take cover on them. For instance, myself, I could have wished when I was informed to get a course like this one. I could be far. I could get so many informations before I get into my undergraduate studies. So if that's the case, I think you are ready. How are you, students? How are you, ordinary diploma engineering students? How are you? Are you ready for lecture 1? Well, so let me do the quick review of lecture 0. So in lecture 00, it has been titled as, what the title of lecture 00? General Introduction of Electronics Drawing. In that lecture, actually, I present to you the module code, if you do remember. The module code and what does it mean, which is ETT 04112. Then I present to you the number of credits, very important in GPA. Number of credits for these modules. Then I told you that according to the curriculum, it is 9 credits. Then I presented to you about the sub-enabling outcome. Sub-enabling outcome. In these sub-enabling outcomes, then I have presented to you that we have to cover 60 sub-enabling outcomes. And in those sub-enabling outcomes, you find that we found some keywords called the employee, some keywords that are called the use, some keywords that are called the selecting, some keywords that are called the servicing. These are the common keywords that we've encountered. But we found also some keywords that are called the knowledge, and we found some keywords that are called the electronics drawing, and also we learned about some keywords that are called the electronics drawing tools, drawing tools, and the equipments. But also we encountered another vocabulary that's called interpret. It means you should have a skill to interpret. We encountered also another keyword that's called the constructing. Constructing what? Electrical and what? And electronics what? Electronics circuits. Okay? Okay, students? Yes. Then we encountered another keyword that's called that you should be able to produce. To produce what? Electronics drawing. Electronics drawings. Electronics drawings of what? Of electrical and the electronic circuits. So according to the sub-enabling outcomes of this module, I'm supposed to use what you know in order to teach you how to use the knowledge that you have in drawing. Okay? But according to the syllabus of United Republic of Tanzania of ordinary, we call it just physics for ordinary secondary education, from 1 to Form 4, you just had the one topic in electronics. And it's just introduction. So unfortunately, you are lacking some information that you have to employ. Good luck. Go out. Go out, wash your face, and then come back. Okay, so now we are going to focus on reference books of electronics drawing. Say reference books of electronics drawing. Again, say reference books of electronics drawing. So so this is today's lecture, so you have to start writing. I was doing just quick review. In case you missed it, you can access lecture 0. According to the DIT or DIT's curriculum, there are 9 reference books that might be used to learn, to understand, to learn, and understanding different skills, in electronics drawing. These reference books, hello? What's going on? These reference books are categorized into two groups, namely required reference books and the second group, recommended reference books. So according to the DIT curriculum, a student has to go through has to find at least 9 reference books to understand skills, to learn and understand skills of electronics drawing. And these reference books have been categorized into 2 categories. The first one, we call them required reference books. And the second ones, we call it recommended reference books. Say required reference books. Again, say required reference books. And then say recommended reference books. So what the difference? Ask your neighbor. What the difference between required reference books and recommended reference books? Talk to your neighbor. So when you ask your neighbor, you must ask him, what is required reference books? And your neighbor has to ask you, what is recommended reference what? So those are your neighbors. Yes, talk to your neighbors. Talk to your neighbor, say it. What are differences between? Because your neighbor told you that, you know, since before I was born, I fell in love with electronics engineering. So now it's a time to ask your neighbor, show me that your true love on electronics. So in short, required reference books, these are the reference books that you need. You may need all of them or any of them. Recommended reference books, these are the books that the people or the teachers who have sat down and prepared the curriculum made the recommendation that you may use the following reference books. It means we recommend you to use the following reference books. But required, it means you might find that you might need them or you might not need them. They might be necessary or they might not be necessary. But recommended, we advise you, you may use the following reference books in order for you to understand or to learn and understand skills of electronics drawing. Are we together? Yes. So you have to remember the meanings of the word required in English and recommended. So there are 5 recommended or required reference books in electronics drawing, and there are 4 recommended reference books. When you talk about required reference books, when we mention about required reference books, we don't repeat them in recommended reference books. It means that there are so many books that will teach you about electronics drawing. But the following are the selected ones, according to the sub-enabling outcomes which we have presented or we have discussed in lecture 0. So the following books, one of them, or maybe each of the books might meet one of the sub-enabling outcomes, might help you to meet one sub-enabling outcomes, or 2, or all the 6 sub-enabling outcomes. But it's not possible for one book to help you to meet all the 6 sub-enabling outcomes. Because if one book will help you to meet all the 6 sub-enabling outcomes, there is no need for you to find other books. So because you are the college students, then you have to learn to read books. You have to learn to summarize from the books. And these are not storybooks just like in literature. These are the conceptual or technical books. So they represent technicality skills. So it's not a matter to read them just like a magazine or a newspaper. No. You have to read, question, and understand, and write what you've understood. Are we together? Are we together? Yes. So let us start with required reference book. These are not the books that I have selected as a teacher of electronics drawing. These are the books which have been stated from the curriculum. So I'm not the one who have prepared them. I've just taken them from the DIT curriculum. So, separating. There's a way that you use to write these reference books. Don't write anything, just look on the blackboard. The way we write this reference book, this has the meaning, number 1, and this square bracket has a meaning. This is the name of the author. Stan, I say don't write anything, just look on the blackboard. Stan Giblisko. Giblisko. Stan Giblisko, 2018. I said, please don't write anything. Look on the blackboard what I'm writing, then have some ample time to write. But it's better to write what you have understood. So, beginner's guide to reading schematic. To reading schematics, 4th edition. Who is making noise? Eh? Is it Naomi who is making noise? Is it Saleh who is making noise? I say don't write anything. Can you check your neighbor? Is your neighbor writing or? Just check the faithfulness of your neighbor. When your neighbor is being told that stop writing, your neighbor is writing. When your neighbor is asked you to write, your neighbor is stop writing. That's the behavior of your neighbor. Okay. Stop writing and look on the blackboard. This is the number of the reference books. It means that the first reference. That's why we have a square bracket, and this is number 1. Then we have some two words. Stan Gibilsko. This is the name of the author. And this is according to this is referencing according to IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. So this is international referencing. You will use this referencing when we doing the project conceptualization and project realization in your NTA level 6. Then we have in parentheses, we have a year, 2018. This is the year when this book has been published. Okay? Then we have the name of the book, Beginner's Guide to Reading Schematic. Then we have a comma. So first information, second information, third information, fourth information. Then you have right edition, because for instance, there are so many, there are first versions of Beginner's Guide to Reading Schematic. There's a second version, third versions, and a third versions of 40, and fourth versions of Beginner's Guide to Reading Schematic. So the curriculum said that you have to find the fourth edition. We call them versions, so we call them edition. So you have first edition, second edition, third edition, fourth edition. And then this is McGraw-Hill Education tab. This is the name of the publisher. Just like Nyambari Nyangwine. Nyambari Nyangwine Publisher Company. We read the books that have been written by that member of parliament of our country. So he has a publishing company. So you may write and then we'll help you to publish. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Then we have ISBN. Say ISBN. So ISBN 1001260031101. This is the unique identification of that book worldwide. Every formal book and published book worldwide, it should have ISBN. It's just like your registration number. It's unique at DIT. So whenever you want to find Naomi, we might have so many Naomi. But when you write the registration number of Naomi, first year ordinary diploma in electronics and telecommunication engineering, we'll find the one student has that registration number. And we have write reference books in that way because in case you want to find online, it's simple. You just need to copy and paste it on Google search. Then you have that book. It's even not important to write Beginner's Guide to Reading Schematic because there are so many books. I've been teaching students about reading the schematics. So for this case, you'll be searching a particular book. The world is full with books. The internet is full with books. But when you are going to write and search this book and write everything that I've written on the blackboard, you will get that particular book that we intended. Hello? Hello? It's just like what? Naomi. We may have, so how many Naomis do you have in Tanzania? So many. How many Ashas do you have in Tanzania? Many Ashas. How many Christians, maybe Christophers do you have in Tanzania? So many. How many Msuya do you have in Tanzania? So many. How many Ruemamu do you have in Tanzania? How many Mulokos do you have in Tanzania? How many Mwakayago do you have in Tanzania? So many. But when you use a particular registration number, we may find that particular Mwakayago or Makasapire or Misenyi. So similarly for the books. So the name of the book is called The Beginner's Guide to Reading Schematic. Read it in. Say beginners. Beginner's Guide to Reading Schematic. Beginner's Guide to Reading Schematic. Again. Beginner's Guide to Reading Schematic. Remember that there's one of your classmates who have asked me what the means of schematics. So the second time again you find that word. And I told you, you should not worry that particular topic. And I like it so much. I don't know about you, whether you like it or you hate it. So this is the first required reference book. The name of the author, let me repeat, the number of reference, the name of the author, the year of publication, the name of the books, the edition of the book, the name of the publisher, the ICBN or the unique number. Are we together? Are we together? What I'm teaching you, you remember when you'll be in the third year of ordinary diploma, because you'll be doing project, and the last pages of your project book should contain reference books. And those reference books should be written according to IEEE standard in that style. But it's actually the third week of your first year. You may forget along the way. But when we ask you about reference books, you remember Olenjolai has said something. What did Olenjolai say? The second reference book. So you can write. The second reference book. The name of author is James M. So one of your assignments today, at the end of this lecture, is to find these books and to have them. So you have to listen careful and ask a question, because next time I will just need them. The name of the books is called the Electronics Drafting and the Printed Circuit Board Design. Okay, so operating, we have the second required reference book. The name of the author, this is the second reference book, required reference book. I say operating, look, it's called James M. Kirkpatrick, 2018. The name of the book is called the Electronic Drafting and Printed Circuit Board Design, second edition. The name of publisher is not presented. The ICBN number is this one. So it's not important. You should not force. You may not know the name of publisher, it's fine. But you have to know the number of referencing, the name of the author, the year of publication, the name of the books, and the ICBN number. And why should you write the ICBN number? Because in case I want to search, if I feed this information into the Google search engine, or maybe any other search engine, then I can find a particular book. Are we together? Are we together? So let us read in our mind, or keep in our mind. 1, 2, 3, read. Listen to your neighbor, huh? Huh? Is your neighbor talking? Uh-huh. Eh? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Again? Uh-huh. 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 58. Ah. This material tough. So this is Beginner's Guide to the Reading Schematics, and this book is called Electronics Drafting and Printed Circuit Board Design. Say printed circuit board design. Say printed circuit board design. In short, hello, there backbencher. From the first row, from the Simba Sport Club, this part to this part. Say printed circuit board design.
Printed circuit board
Again.
Design. Printed circuit board.
Again, loudly.
Printed circuit board design.
What body? Again.
Printed circuit board design. Printed circuit board design.
I hear about. So printed circuit board design, in short, we call it PCB. It's not PCB as the combinations in science, no. But printed circuit boards are the boards that you used to find or used to see when you open your smartphone like this one. We call it motherboard. In most devices, electronic devices, you find color is green. And on top of it, or on both sides, you find there is electronics components. Right? So these books actual, it will teach you about electronics drafting. Say drafting. What the means of drafting? Have you ever heard the word called the drafting? We don't mean that the drafting as the one of the game that we are playing. A drafting, no. We have a vocabulary that's called the drafting in engineering. Have you ever heard about that terminology? Even in other fields. For those technical schools, they are familiar about drafting. Even technical, I just said no. Okay. Okay, so printed circuit design. So this one will teach you about electronics drafting, but also will teach you about printed circuit board design, which we call the PCB layout. Then, the study reference or required reference book is called the AK Metal. In 2009, the name of the book is called the Electronics Engineering Drawing. Engineering Drawing. And its 5th edition. Who is making noise? Elisha or Elia? Eli of Bongoland. 97 8 8 17 317 4377. Stop writing. Listen and look on the blackboard. This is the said reference. That's why we have a square bracket and number 3. Right? Then next we expect to have a name of the author. What are the names of the author? AKA, yeah? AKA, yeah? So you're just missing what A, yeah? AKA, yeah? Okay, AK Metal. What the year of publication? Then what the names of the book? Again. Again. Once I finish to present to you about this required and recommended reference books, you should not ask me that if you want to be competent in electronics drawing, where should I learn? Those are the books that I'm presenting to you. You have to look, you have to read, you have to learn to draw. Are we together? Yes. We are not making entertainment in this class. We are not making comedy. We are teaching. Then what the number for addition? A? A? Ici bien? Pardon? Restuta, I say it is time to stop writing. And what you are doing? Who told you to write? Read for me this number. A? 09? 13, Look your neighbor, Your neighbor is just waiting 77,
Mungu ibariki Tanzania, dumisha uhuru na umoja wake kwa waume na watoto. Mungu ibariki Tanzania na watu wake. Ibariki Tanzania, ibariki Tanzania, tubariki watoto wa Tanzania.